we go. So, hey, Rima, I'm really excited today to have you here. We're going to do some techniques as part of our rapid change technologies, or what we call RTC, and RCT, I should say. I've got to get that right. But, so we're really excited to have you here today, and I believe you've got some stuff that you want to shift today in a really rapid way. And so, give us an indication. What are we working on today?
I guess the main part that annoys me really is my relationship. Over 40 and cannot really find a good partner.
Mm-hmm.
I think my limiting belief would be not able to. I'm not gonna marry at all. That's my limiting belief.
Okay, and so. Notice there's like the laugh that you just did, okay? Because that almost tells us a little bit that you've really you've got to that point where you almost feel like it's a joke. Is that correct?
I'm trying to avoid the negative feelings by just covering that in a laughing style. You know what I mean? It's like inside I really feel frustrated, but outside I'm trying to, cover that with a different vision. Yeah.
And that would be a reflection of your life, using comedy to avoid.
Well done. You made it.
Yeah, and kind of like comedy towards yourself. Is that correct? Kind of almost like putting yourself down a little bit?
You may be right in this area. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Because that gives us a bit of an indication of what's going on, because that little conversation may, distract everyone else, but it won't distract me from what's really going on. And one of the things that I would say, one of the things that I would say to you is that, I don't find you a joke at all. I think you're amazing. And I think what we've got to do is build your self-worth so that you feel that as well. Okay? And really own how amazing you are. And that's one of the keys to relationships, is to build your inner self-worth. And that's the thing. Like, I find when it comes to attracting relationships, a lot of people go external and go, oh, I can't find anyone, there's no man, or whatever it is, or females, whatever. And what I find is that typically, like, the internal is a reflection of the external. And so if there is part of you that doesn't want a relationship, then that will kind of manifest externally. And you can see this over and over again, where, like, people attract half relationships. They attract people that are not committed, or one night stands, or whatever it is. When you look inside of them, they're not actually committed.
Right. And that's what happened to me a lot. It's my pattern of my life. The pattern of my life, really. Yeah. Yep.
Yep. So take a deep breath in and out. And so you're kind of feeling that frustration, that kind of fed up. Is that correct? Is that what it is?
It is absolutely frustration, yes.
Yep. Okay. And so let's shift this, because I find when 100% of you inside is open and willing to have a relationship, then what happens is the relationship pops up almost like magic. And so that's what we've got to do, is we've got to kind of get rid of the past, if that's making sense. And I remember I was working with this one lady, and she said to me, I've had so many relationships. I know everything about relationships, and look, I've been there, done that. It just doesn't work. And then I started to ask her some questions, and she, we found out that she probably had about 6 serious relationships over an entire life. And I said, okay, you've had 6 relationships. Does that mean that you know everything about relationships? And she said, well, I've had a lot of experience. And I said, well, could there be experiences that you haven't had? Okay? New experiences, new emotions, new levels of connection on a physical, mental, emotional level. And I said, could you entertain that concept that you don't know everything and you haven't experienced everything? And she's like, oh, okay, yeah. And I said, often what happens is that we attract our wounds. And so our relationships are often, wounded. And that's why a relationship can seem like it's the same one over and over and over again, yet we're the common element.
Yeah.
And from a quantum physics point of view, there's no one else out there. There is just us and manifestations of kind of our belief systems and wounds. And so one of the things I love about these techniques, it's like going back to the beginning. And you remember that curiosity, like the first kiss, a new experience, that type of thing. That's what root cause techniques is all about, is kind of getting you back to that place where we start to just let go of the past. And then what happens is that you show up in present time, and that wonder and that curiosity and that kind of experience where everything is new and exciting. So that's our objective today. How does that sound?
Good.
Awesome. Okay, so I can see you're like ready to go. I love it. So what I want you to do is just shut your eyes, take a deep breath in and out. And I want you to just really get connected to that feeling of being fed up, frustrated, maybe even angry. And it's like, I can't have a relationship. I'm not going to be married, I think, that's what you said before. It's not going to happen. And so we can look at that and go, I can't have or attract a relationship. Is that correct? Is that the belief?
It is.
And when you think of that belief, I want you to connect to the emotion. That's it. Because we've gone past the anger now, haven't we? And are we tapping into sadness? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to cry, so
that's it.
Forgive me.
Let it come up. And notice how you just said, forgive me. Like, crying's beautiful. It's something we need to do. And that's been what's happening for you, is you've been holding it all in, pushing it down. And that's the challenge. That's it. And I just want you to get really, really connected now. And just to feel that sadness. And just to let it come up.
Okay.
Yeah. And really drop into it. And where can you feel that sadness in your body?
Yeah, you can feel it.
What part of your body?
My eyes.
Mm-hmm. Where else?
Like, I feel like I'm hurt. Like I'm hurted. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's it. Your heart.
My heart. My heart. Yeah. Yes.
That's it. I want you to really intensify that feeling in your heart. And maybe about a 5 out of 10, take it to a 6. Take it to a 7. Take it to an 8. A 9. That's it. That's it. And just feel the emotion. Really feel it. Now as you take it to a 10. And intensify it. That's it. And I want to ask you, what's underneath this emotion?
Anger.
Yeah. And just feel that.
I feel I did everything for everyone. I'm not getting any reward.
That's it.
In return.
And just really tap into that frustration, that anger. I've done everything for everyone. And as you feel that anger and frustration, what part of your body is it?
Still my heart and my breathing is like,
yeah.
And
I want you to intensify it, really intensify it. Okay. And intensify that anger. And drop into it. And again, take it to a 6, a 7, an 8, a 9, and double that anger as you take it to a 10. And as you drop through it, what's underneath it?
You mean feelings?
Yeah, what's underneath the anger?
Unfairness.
Yeah.
Unfairness, like, yeah.
It's unfair.
Unfair.
Yeah. And what emotion is that?
I feel very, very angry.
That's it. You're so angry.
I am.
And you've been really angry.
I am.
Yeah.
But I don't express that. I just internally, I don't really do anything to anyone. I just punish myself.
That's it. And I want you to drop into that anger. And as you peel that anger back, what's underneath it?
A feel of shame.
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one. And I want you to feel that shame. That's the one. And what part of your body do you feel that shame?
I think it's getting to my lung and then the first part of my stomach.
That's it. And when it hits your stomach, that's your power center. You're either powerful or powerless. And that's how you're feeling in your relationships at the moment, is powerless. Is that correct? Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Intensify that feeling of shame and powerlessness and feel it in your stomach. And as you connect to this and really connect to this, I want to ask your unconscious mind, when was the root cause of this shame? How old were you? First number that just pops into your mind. Don't even think about it.
How old is my...
First number that pops into your mind.
Of like that
Age.
shame feeling?
Yeah. The root cause. When it started. How old? First number.
12.
12. And at age 12, who was involved?
My mom.
Yep. And can you see? Yep. Notice your hand went up on your mouth, not being able to speak, not being able to tell the truth, not being able to speak up. Is that right? Age 12?
Yes, I was not able to speak up. I was suppressed whenever I tried to express my feelings. She was like, no, this is not good. Don't go to relationship or don't think about men.
That's it. So whose shame is this? Is this yours or someone else's?
It's shame of me to think about something that the whole community does not accept it at that age.
Yep. And can you see yourself in that picture at age 12 with your mum?
Yes.
Yep. And what I want you to do is I want you to float into the 12-year-old you and look through the 12-year-old's eyes. And can you feel the emotion of shame there?
Yes.
Yep. Or is it something else? Is it fear?
And fear as well.
Yeah, that's the one.
And unhappy.
That's it. I want you to intensify it. And I now want you to float out of it. Float up really high. You can see yourself in the picture. You can see your mum. That's it. And you can see the whole scenario here and what you decided. And what I want you to do is just rewind this. Go back into the past.
Mm-hmm.
And notice who you were before this. Who were you before this fear, this shame?
Who I was before this shame?
Yeah. Who were you before it?
I was someone who was very innocent, spontaneous, doing what I want to do.
There you go. Can you see that? Can you see who you were before this pattern?
Yes.
So this shame isn't you. You picked it up. Your true self is what you just saw, is free, innocent.
Yes.
And what I want you to do is you go back to this event at age 12. What do you need to learn? Just see yourself, see your mum, float really high. What do you need to learn about yourself here?
I need to learn to go to the right person to talk to about my feelings.
Mm-hmm. But what do you need to learn about yourself, though?
I'm someone that loves the life and need to find the same pattern, like someone with the same style of thinking or mindset. Someone who's free, someone who's honest and spontaneous and happy all the time.
Yeah.
without
What do you
really
need
being
to learn
affected.
about you? What would you need to learn about you that will release all of the fear and the shame? What do you need to learn about you? See the 12-year-old you, see your mum. What do you need to learn about you here? That's it.
Just like I'll bring tissue. I want
That's
to
okay.
learn about myself.
Let the tears come. It's all good. Okay, so what I want you to do is go back there. You jumped out. I want you to go back there. Okay. Age 12. Age 12. And this is really fear. You're petrified, huh? And you
I
felt
am.
shame. Yeah. And you can see yourself. You can see the 12-year-old you. And you can see your mum here. And what would you need to learn to be free of this? See the 12-year-old you now. The 12-year-old thought holding on to shame and fear was the best choice. Now, as you look at this, what would you learn instead?
I'm trying to think. I think what I want, I must learn that no one can impact me.
Absolutely.
And
Float
happiness.
higher. Float higher. See yourself in the picture. See the 12-year-old you. See your mum. Like, whose fear is this?
Yeah, it's her fear. It's not
Yeah.
me. She passed it to me. Yes,
Yeah.
you are right.
There you go. And sometimes we hold on to kind of wounds to be close to people. Just like how you build rapport with someone, you find something in common. Often we do the same with wounds. We find something in common and we hold on to it. So what if you held on to fear to be close to your mum?
I did that, absolutely. You are right. I did that.
There you go. Your voice just changed, by the way. So now, as you look at the 12-year-old, what does the 12-year-old you need to learn here to be completely free and go back to that feeling of being innocent?
That I can express my feeling without being impacted by anyone. And no one will impact me. Whatever happens, I'm not fear of anything. I'm brave.
That's it. And that means you can make an impact. Can you see that? You're now like free to make an impact.
That's right.
Okay. And as you start to see like who you really are outside of fear, like there's that courage, that confidence. That's the opposite of fear, by the way. As it starts to just switch on, you may even notice it. You probably feel it inside. It's actually switching on right now because your voice changed just before, and you're feeling the happiness now. Here we go. This is awesome.
I am.
As you're reconnecting to who you are. You don't have to take on other people's stuff. It was never your fear, okay? And now you're just giving it back. And one of the things you can be is like, grateful because this fear got you to this point on this journey. What if now you're here to make an impact and help others get rid of their fear and shame and all of that stuff? What if that's your life purpose? You've been in university up to this point. Now you've got a bit of a blueprint to help people. As you start to shift energetically, you will help others. And that's the impact that you're talking about. And so what I want you to do is see the 12-year-old you, see your mum, and notice the little 12-year-old you is becoming more powerful. And you can see that. And now what I want you to do is float into the 12-year-old you, look through your eyes, see what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel. And as you do that, just check, is the fear and shame there or has it completely gone? Just relive that event, age 12.
I would say, honestly, I'm 90% confident that it's gone. And
do your best to get it back. Do your best to get it back. Float into the 12-year-old you, look through your eyes, do your best to get it back. And just check, is the fear and shame there or is it completely gone? Do your best.
Okay, it's 99% gone.
99. Okay. So what I want you to do, look at this beautiful smile. So what I want you to do is float above the event. You're before the event. You can see yourself in the picture. So you can see the 12-year-old you. You can see your mum. What else do you need to learn? There's a few other things that you need to learn here as you look at this. What else do you need to learn here to release all of the fear, all of the shame? Like see the dynamic, the 12-year-old you with your mum, see that whole situation. What else do you need to learn here to fully release it and be convinced?
I have to learn to be in control of my life, as in even my feelings. If someone is negative, just push it away. Don't think about it. I just need to think about positivity and have hope in the future, and the future will be nice.
Awesome. Powerful learning. But what I want you to notice in this event is you getting a voice and you starting to speak up. And notice that. Because that's how you make an impact, by the way, is you start to get a voice. And see the 12-year-old you. What would the 12-year-old you need to learn in order to switch that voice on?
I need to, yeah, that's a good question. I would think be able to have my voice and speak up and say, okay, no one will touch my feelings. This is my own things.
Awesome.
I have to say no. I have to learn how to say no.
Like it's time for you to roar like a lion. It's time for you to roar and make an impact. So what I want you to do is float into the 12-year-old you. Look through your eyes, relive that event. Now what I want you to do is grow bigger. Notice you're growing bigger and your mum's getting smaller and smaller. Can you notice that? Yes. And now notice you're a hungry lion. You haven't been fed. Okay? And now your mum's getting smaller and smaller. Okay? And just hear that voice, that self-talk inside of you growing. It's roaring, and feel it. Make the sound louder inside. Okay? Like the hungry lion. And you're looking at mum. Okay? And now you're looking at mum as food. You haven't been fed. And notice you're getting bigger and bigger, and your voice is getting louder and louder, and mum's getting smaller and smaller. And mum's voice has just changed to like a chipmunk's voice. And she's trying to get attention, but there is this roar, and feel it. And feel it inside of you as your voice gets louder. Your true voice gets louder and louder. And feel the feelings of being able to make an impact. Feel that feeling of being able to make an impact. In the past, you took on board this fear and all that type of stuff. Now you're doing the exact opposite. And you're going, this isn't my stuff. I'm sending it back. And just feel that inside. Now step out of this event. As you step out of this event, see yourself, powerful, hungry lion. What do you need to learn here to unleash that voice inside?
I need to learn to say no.
There you go.
No one will impact me. I have my voice and speak up when needed.
Yep.
I don't have to have this fear of anyone else, because
if you don't have fear, what do you have?
I have power. I have courage.
That's it.
I have braveness.
There you go. Now what I want you to do is float into your body. Age 12, relive that event again, and just check, is the fear there or is it completely gone now?
99.5%, honestly. There is a little
bit. Okay, so let me ask you this question. As you step out of this, was this the root cause of fear, or is there another event in your life before this? I want to ask your unconscious mind. Is there an event before age 12? First answer.
I guess yes.
That's a yes.
Yes.
Okay. And how old? First number. Don't even think about it. How old? Root cause of fear.
First 6, number. 7.
Okay, 6.
7 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. 7 years age 6. Now notice the memory just starts to pop up. And 6 years old. Who was involved in this at age 6?
Mom.
There you go. There you go. This is the one. That's the one.
Suppressing me, forcing me to do things that I don't want to do.
That's it. I want you to notice the event. Can you see yourself in the picture?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and you can see your mum, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, as you're above this event, what do you need to learn here that the 6-year-old didn't get?
I need to do things and just share the minimum knowledge to others as long as they can absorb it. To avoid
what do you need to learn about you?
Learn about me. I'm a little bit stuck here. Sorry.
That's okay. See the 6-year-old you. What does the 6-year-old you need to learn here? To release fear.
I need to learn how to ask for things in an indirect way sometimes, not to be direct with people who cannot accept direct discussion.
Let me ask you this question. Does the 6-year-old you need to learn how to ask for help?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. And would it be fair to say this is where you started to bottle things up and kind of go solo?
That's right.
Yeah. And so what does the little 6-year-old need to learn instead?
Learn how to ask for help and learn how to, I think learning to ask about things before doing stuff. Like, what are the consequences if I did that, or to avoid any punishment.
There you go. So the 6-year-old is so worried about being punished.
Yes.
What would you need to learn to let go of the worry?
I guess need to know how to set expectation of people around me before doing any action, and study the situation well.
But the 6-year-old's not going to study, right? What the 6-year-old needs to feel is safe. Is that correct?
I need to feel safe. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And what would you need to learn to feel safe?
Maybe asking someone who's like adult to tell me how to be safe. What's the best?
And so how you learn to be safe is asking for help.
For help, yes.
Yeah. And telling the truth.
I have never asked for help. I usually.
Yeah, you're the one that usually does it for everyone else. And you learned that at age 6. You learned to push everything down.
Yes.
Yeah. And you learned that what you need to do is just help and put everyone else first, because that is what you learnt. That was the thing that had you feel safe. That's it. And so from age 6, you became the rescuer.
Yes.
And denied your emotions and pushed everything down, and you stopped asking for help and you stopped speaking your truth.
Yes.
And so as you see this at age 6, see the little 6-year-old. And now what I want you to do is go into the past and notice who you were before this pattern. And what can you see?
Before 6?
Yeah. Who were you before this?
I was, I think, a baby. Like someone who was very innocent.
Yeah.
Spontaneous, doesn't know exactly what's right, what's wrong.
There you go. And notice before this you felt so safe. You felt so safe to test and measure and to be spontaneous and to do all of those things.
Yes.
Because that's who you really are. And now we're going to switch this ability to tell the truth, to speak up, to ask for help. And that's the amazing thing, because then you start receiving. And new people will start to come into your life as you start to listen to a true voice. And so what I want you to do is see the 6-year-old you, see your mum again. Is there anything else you need to learn? What does the 6-year-old you need to learn?
I would say
and see your mum, see the 6-year-old you.
Yeah. Maybe asking for help, asking for advice, and not feeling that if ashamed that I don't know what I'm asking for.
And if you're not feeling ashamed, what would you feel instead?
Feeling confident that no one knows everything, and I have to accept myself as it is.
Oh, there you go. So what I want you to do is float into the 6-year-old you. Okay, relive that event at age 6. And as you're inside of the 6-year-old you, just check, is the fear there or has it gone?
It has gone.
Yeah, look at that. That was confident. Now what I want you to do is come back to age 12 now. I want you to float into age 12 and just check, is the fear there or is it 100% gone now?
It's 100% gone
There
now.
you go. There you go. Look, good colour shift on your face right now. Now, you can feel this energy, right? All this energy unleashing inside. This is beautiful. This is your true self. 'Cause now kind of coming through. We've kind of like, if it's been damned, all this energy, now it's unleashed. So what I want you to do, come back. And as you come back, I want you to notice any other events where that shame or fear was present. And you'll notice the events will just pop up. The right events will just pop up. And as you notice these events on your way back, I want you to get new learnings, any new positive learnings about yourself.
Yes.
And as you do that, just notice the events. They're just going to pop up. The right ones will pop up. And then you'll see all of the opportunities to speak up. There you go. Look at that. Brilliant. Look at you. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Awesome. Now, when you're ready, come back to now.
Okay.
Take a deep breath in and out. And opening your eyes. You look younger. Look at this cheekiness. This is what happens when you do this work. The troublemaker comes out. Now, let me ask you this question as you take a deep breath in and out. How do you feel about having a relationship now?
I feel that I accept myself, so I can be myself when I talk to people, and I will accept others as well.
Amazing. Now what I want you to do is shut your eyes and go out into the future. And I want you to imagine yourself 6 months. Okay? And imagine this pattern has unleashed, as I said, like the dam has been kind of crushed. We've dropped the dam and there's this new emotion coming through and you're speaking up. You're feeling confident. You've got that courage. Notice who you are in 6 months because it builds. It's like a snowball rolling down a mountain, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Now notice all the relationships that you've attracted. But most importantly, notice the relationship with yourself. And see how amazing you are, this hungry lion.
Yes.
You're speaking up, you're having fun, you're being spontaneous. And maybe everyone's going, wow, where does this energy come from? This is amazing. You're incredible. And I want you to see yourself in 6 months. Can you see that? In a relationship.
Yes.
And imagine it. You just feel so safe in this relationship. Like you feel so safe and you've got this voice and you're asking for what you want and you're teaching people how to treat you and you're so fulfilled. Can you feel that?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Now what I want you to do is come back to now. Take a deep breath in and out. And what I want to say to you is congratulations. That was big.
Thank you so much.
That was big.
I never thought about the fear and everything that came through this session. Thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure. Now, what do you want to say to everybody that's listening to this right now?
This system works. You will know things about yourself that you have never even thought about. And trust the system, trust these people. They are very good. I have full confidence in them.
Look at this beautiful smile. Look at you.
You'll be a different person. You'll be a best version of yourself in just that time.
Rapid, right? Like rapid. Lot of
rapidly, yes.
Like rewind the video, everybody, and look at the beginning versus now. Do some contrastive analysis. You look amazing, Rima. Thank you so much for being a demonstration and like inspiring so many people. When our wounds become superpowers. So one of the things is that when you resolve these wounds inside of yourself, then like I believe that's kind of like a mission. So what if your mission here is to help people with fear and shame and to help them become powerful, to speak up, and you do that by being an example. You do that by shining a light. And so, again, Rima, congratulations.
Thank
You're
you
doing
so much.
amazing stuff. Rima's part of our Coach Accelerator training. She's kicking goals. And big round of applause. Good job. And again, thank you so much for this demonstration. You're helping a lot of people. All righty. Take care.
All right. Thank you. Have a lovely one.
Absolutely. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.